complain.
We've seen a big turnaround, especially in the front part of this defense. But the test that you face this week against a team that you know you're going to is going to try to run the ball.
Yeah.
Where does that measure up?
Oh, man, it's going to be a physical one. I think the conditions might be a little rainy this week. And, yeah, like you see on tape, man, Saquon is back. He's running great. He's running hard. He jump cutting. He looks explosive. And up front, we have a challenge. We got to be physical. We got to get off blocks and really bottle him up. You see he's finding creases. He's a great back, a great vision. You out your gap, he's going to find to expose it. So it's really everybody has to be disciplined across the board, and really can't lack, even if you're on the backside of play, because there's plenty of times you see him, he starts front side, and he'll jump cut all the way backside and cut it all the way back across the field. So, it's important everybody be disciplined, be where you're supposed to be, and be patient, because he's going to try every gap.
I hear you talk about that. It also sounds like you're describing Ken Walker, your teammate.
Yeah.
Do you see similarities in the way they run?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, they both have actually similar styles, just guys who, again, have great vision, set up blocks. You think he's going one way, he's really setting you up so he can bounce it back. And explosive. Once the hole opens up, they can hit it. They home runs. You see it's like 5-5-5, then 60, maybe a 10, then 70. So it's like you got to be patient. It's really one of those, like, it's about who can really do right longer and just be disciplined.
We've heard about how you guys have been able to play more aggressively
Yeah.
up front the last couple of weeks. Are you able to do that against a running back like Barkley?
Yeah, you are, especially because they're pulling a lot of guys and creating new gaps, so penetration helps. But this whole thing is just like you can play aggressive and still be disciplined. You can play, let's say, it's really just getting off the ball, being physical, but being where you're supposed to be and being accountable, and that's the biggest thing with this, especially going against a running back like him. Everybody be where you're supposed to be, but you can do that going 100 miles an hour, So, yeah, we got to be physical, knock off. Like, I might be a play, I might get off and knock off a puller. It might not add up on a stat sheet, but that helps my backers. That doesn't create an extra gap. So it's really, just getting out, being physical, and being disruptive. Being disruptive.
Quinton's talked a couple times about he knew you guys maybe wanted to play this way more than you had been playing previously, but you guys needed to show that you could do it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, was that sort of a motivating factor at all, knowing that if you do this well, they're going to let you keep kind of playing?
Always. I mean, again, it's we knew the responsibility we had on us. It's a lot more responsibility on us, playing the way we do now. But I mean, I feel like I'm comfortable with the guys I'm playing against or playing with, to take on that challenge, and that's the biggest thing. They gave us the keys, so we gotta just take full advantage of that, so we don't go back to doing we were. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just like, I like playing aggressive. I know the guys I'm playing with like playing aggressive, like making plays. If you can make it with the guys up front, why not? But with that comes a lot of responsibility, and we have to be where we're supposed to be, and we got to make the plays when they come to us. If I don't make the play and it goes for 20, then maybe you do need to read so the back can make it. So we got to take advantage of our opportunities.
The implication is that before you weren't playing as aggressively. Were you reading more? You having to react?
I mean, traditionally, 3-4 years more reading, more two-gapping, But I mean, it works, But again, like we got a lot of smaller built guys like myself. I'm not really like a 300-pound guy, and I know myself, and I know when I'm going forward, a lot of good things happen instead of reading. And myself, Puna, Shelby. Shelby's really the only one that actually has done it for a while, But but he's still a playmaker in himself, can get off and disrupt. So I'm like, man, if we can cut guys loose, why not? But I said, but with that comes a lot of responsibility. You got to be where you're supposed to be. If there's one gap, be in your gap and knock boys back. Don't be stalemates at the line of scrimmage, and get off blocks.
You talk about being comfortable with the guys you're playing with.
Yeah.
You've been in the system, then you went away. Was there an adjustment period the first few weeks for you to kind of get back into this style of defense?
I mean, always, especially because the backers I was playing with when I was here are now gone. So, we got a lot of younger guys with JB and Cody, and they're not really familiar with how I play as well. So it's just that process, guys feeling each other out. And it's always, I played in a 4-3, especially last year. Marinelli, he's one of the greatest coaches I ever had, and his whole emphasis is getting off the ball, and kind of dictating the pace. Well, here, like a 3-4, you want to get off, but again, it's just the fits are different, and it's really just getting adjusted, getting back to just, again, being, I guess not saying necessarily like 4-3 is undisciplined, but being more like, you really have to be accountable for your gap in a 3-4. And that's it's really big. And yeah, just getting back to just I guess being more disciplined.
It's the key to everything.
You've been really versatile on the line in your career. What's different or familiar about this year? How they're using you? You seem to be inside quite a bit.
Yeah, because I am playing more inside. To me, honestly, I feel like it's more the same, because before it was like a hybridish kind of 3-4-4-3 where sometimes we still did play. I still played 4 technique last time I was here, and kind of similar here. Like when we do tight front, I'm in a 4 technique, or tough, I'm in the 3. So I feel like it's still the same type. I feel like now we're doing a little more tough, so I'm playing more just 3 technique, and we really don't slide to 5s unless like certain stuff dictates that. So I am kind of more inside, but honestly, like I said, really, it kind of is the same, kind of. There's little nuances, the techniques are different, but at the end of the day, like if you read your keys, get off the ball, put your hands on those guys, it really don't make no difference. Like when you're in the end, there's maybe a little more space when it comes like rushing the passer, but it really all the same.
All that stuff you're talking about, the way that they've allowed you guys to play up front the last couple of weeks, how much do you think that has to do with the success your defense has had overall?
I think it has to do with a lot of success, letting the cover guys cover and letting the rush guys rush. If you can rush with 4 and drop everybody else in the coverage, you're going to be successful. So it's a lot on us because we have to be humming. We have to make sure our communication is great. We got a quarterback coming in here with Daniel Jones. Like, if you're not on the same page and there's a big gap in the middle, you've seen it. My man's running for the 80 yards, 70 yards. I think last year he had the fastest miles per hour. Like, when we got to be on point, we can't lack, because once we lack, it could be a big play, whether that's a deep shot or the quarterback running. So it's a lot of responsibility. But again, I trust the guys I'm putting my hands in the dirt with, that we can get it done. And we got to just keep going,
Given the personnel that you mentioned, obviously knowing the strengths of all the players that you're playing with up front, were you surprised that it took that long to go to more of an attacking style, waiting until like the 5th game, or was it really just about a feeling out process?
It's a filling out process, again, like literally you had a bunch of guys, coming together, and we have to, or you're supposed to develop quick, but it takes time, whether that's trust in each other and trust from the coaches, and it just takes time for everybody just to mesh together. We all kind of knew that, but it's one of them, like, we're hoping it happens faster, sooner rather than later, but, we're hitting these past couple games really just gelling and just having confidence in each other, and it's really what rushing the passer is, just trust. Like, I trust my brother's going to be where he's supposed to be. And I said that comes with just playing, and we're all a little younger. I said we have younger guys on the edges, so it just takes time, and we're talking, seeing things out, seeing what they see, they're seeing what I see, so just getting that feel for each other. But I think we're coming along and really getting a sense of how each other rush and how we can play off each other.
We could tell how frustrated you were coming out of the Atlanta, Detroit, and New Orleans games to see yourselves switch it to this degree in these 2 weeks. Like, what does that mean for you guys as a group to see the success come so at such a good level to get back into things?
Yeah, it just comes down to just trusting the process. Like, I think we all were talking in our meetings of defense, just like we knew the turnaround was going to happen at some point. Like, we're going to go through some growing pains, And again, it's one of those we'd rather happen sooner than later. But it took a couple games. But now you see the success happen. It's like, and especially with younger guys, a lot of younger teams are really just trusting the process. Really trusting the process, going out here every day and working your butt off, because we can't. Everybody wants to be great. Even the guys we're going against, they want to win just as bad as we want to win. Sometimes the outcome doesn't come. But it's like, you got to understand, like, the process is just placing if you want to win the lottery, you got to buy a ticket. That's just your ticket. And we come out here, work every day, like we're going to have our opportunity, and it's starting to come along. So we just got to keep on keeping on, and can't be satisfied with the success we had, because it's on to the next week, And so we got the Giants coming here, they're 6-1, and I know they're trying to be 7-1, and so we got an opportunity ahead of ourselves, and it's really going to be won in the trenches. So I know guys just don't want to be satisfied. We got to go out here and really put on a good performance, a great performance.
When you were here the first time, did you guys do the thing where you switch seats with the coaches on the way back after a road win?
Yeah, we did. We did that. I wish we'd be flying for Kelly there and back, but it gives us a little incentive, to go out there and get a W.
The quality of the seat on the way back.
I know myself. Big Al. This man is humongous, and he's back there in just a regular seat. Me and him lucky enough to be older, so we get an aisle. But there's some bigger guys who are uncomfortable, especially them longer trips to the East Coast, So that's definitely incentive to go out there and get them the more comfy seats.
Who gets middles? Anybody?
The middles are young dudes. They lapping up.
Is it 2-2-2 and like?
Yeah, I got like
first
3-4 seats. I go to the bathroom middle. I take that whole section out in front of me, and then everybody else they can figure it out.
That idea of trading out the seats, is that something that you experience with other teams or just teams?
Other teams that we have flown first class to and from, but that's just. I mean, everybody has their different philosophies and reasons why. And again, it gives you some incentive. You know, you go kick some butt, you can ride first class. If not, take your ass to the back.
It's never really been clear how and exactly when it started. What do you remember about? Because you were here in 16.
Yeah, it was just, that's how it's been, like I said, since I was in 16. That's how it was. You know, honestly, in 16, I think we ran two and like no matter what, we were in the back. So honestly, I don't know if it was like maybe 2019 or 2018 they started that. It might have, but even 2016, I remember everybody just being in the back. I thought it was just the norm.
Those Delta Jets don't have 150 first-class seats. What's the derby like for who gets the?
It's just, it goes by, years play. So, what's the cutoff? I mean, there's only enough seats, so if you a younger guy, you probably in the back. If you year 1 or 2 or 3, yeah, you probably in the back, unless you can sneak up or have somebody hold your seat. Oh, good. I appreciate you.
Thank you.